A 23-year-old Madison man has now been sentenced to more than 6 years in prison for possessing a firearm as a felon after he was caught in a police chase. This is a photo of that end of the chase here. You can see it resulted in a crash. According to authorities here, Donald Spivey Jr. abused his partner after she kicked him out of the house last July. He threatened her and strangled her, according to police, to prevent her from calling them. When police found him sleeping in his car, Spivey allegedly drove off, leading officers on this chase that ended with this crash. They found a gun in the car and a machine gun conversion device, which is illegal. He was sentenced yesterday.